two-time Premier League champion and European Cup winner, Stevie Nicol. Stevie, today I want to start talking about the summer transfer window, specifically in the Premier League. Would you say there's been a clear winner for work done and players brought in, or a clear loser for players that have maybe gone, or too many players that have maybe arrived? Let's start with the clear winner. Has there been one for you?
No, let's start with the loser.
Okay, let's go there.
Come on. I mean, it's got to be Chelsea. I mean, how many players have they signed? 13 in this summer window? Something crazy like that? And yet they're no further forward again. I mean, they won against Sevilla yesterday, but it was absolutely atrocious. They've got booed off at half-time. I mean, what is going on at Chelsea? I mean, you talk about mistake after mistake. The left foot doesn't know what the right foot's trying to do. I mean, the fact that they signed João Felix, I mean, that in itself should make them the biggest loser. I mean, just, it was a bust the last time he was there. So if you've had a player already and they've been a bust, what makes you decide to go and spend 50 million on top of what the loan fee was as well, by the way, which everybody forgets, and then the incredible wages that he's on, and you re-sign him again? I mean, it's just absolute madness. And yeah, you can look at Neto and say he's been very good. But again, Neto's had a lot of injury problems. So again, they're buying a player and you don't know what you're going to get. In fact, that line really sums Chelsea up. You don't know what you're going to get other than mistake after mistake.
When you've got all that money and you bring all these players in, you would think that you would be inherently strengthening the squad. The problem that they seem to have is not just this summer transfer window, even going back further than Mudryk. But take Mudryk for an example. Could have gone elsewhere. Arsenal wanted him, but Chelsea splashed the cash. Lavia as well. There are plenty of examples of this. What do you think the end product is going to be for Chelsea? Why are they doing this? Because there must be some sort of reason that none of us can figure out right now. But what is the thinking with Chelsea splashing all this cash, getting in all these players, and knowing that the profit and loss and Premier League fair play rules are still, they don't stop affecting Chelsea just because they're doing this? What's going on?
Well, I think the one thing that's clear is that they decided that they were going to go for young players, which is not a bad idea. Sign young players, but you can't sign a whole team at once. You know, when you're bringing in any player, generally he should be better than the one that he's going to replace. And if you continue to do that at a very high level, then you'll get continued success. But they've completely ripped up what normal, sensible, smart football people do in terms of what I've just said. And they've gone for, we're just going to buy young, and it'll take them a wee bit, but we'll get there. And then we'll be on top of the tree for the next 10, 20, whatever years, as long as they keep putting money in. I think that's the thought. Unfortunately, theory and practical don't always come together. The theory may seem to them to be a good idea, but practically, it was never going to work, and it's clearly not working. So they're going to have to change the way they think. It doesn't seem like that. So I guess we can look forward, unless you're a Chelsea fan, to just spluttering on for another season at the very least until they come to the senses and get a proper transfer policy in order to have some sort of success.
With the likes of Manchester City not really adding that much to their squad, and Liverpool, we'll speak about them shortly. Maybe the winners of the summer transfer window are in Spain, perhaps, because Atletico Madrid have added Conor Gallagher. They've also got in attack Julian Alvarez. Real Madrid have added one of the best players in the world on a free transfer, Kylian Mbappe. But clearly, the more attackers you have, some of them forget to defend, like they did against Mallorca. So one of those two teams, possibly for you, one of the winners of the summer transfer window?
I think on the face of it, probably the high-profile winner would be Atletico Madrid and not Real Madrid in Spain. You know, Mbappe, we knew Mbappe was going to be going there. Not a surprise. Obviously, it makes them better, but we didn't see what Atletico Madrid were going to do, and obviously Conor Gallagher seems like a new Simeone. He plays the same sort of way that Simeone did. You mentioned Alvarez, but they've also signed Sorloth, who actually scored on his debut, and defensively they've got the Spanish Euro winner in Normand as well. So four profile signings, four signings that will play. I guess on the planet we should probably say that Atletico Madrid have won that summer transfer battle. I think in the Premier League, though, I would have to look at somebody like West Ham.
Yeah, they've had a good signings.
Yeah, I mean they've signed 3 players in particular that will definitely start. Kilman will start at the back. Wan-Bissaka obviously will start as well. Up front, I don't think Anthony's going to start. Help me out here. I'm trying to remember who they signed up front. Füllkrug.
Well, Mikel Antonio was there. They've signed Füllkrug.
Yeah, Antonio
They've still got Kudus and they've got Jared Bowen as well. So they've got threats.
Füllkrug's the one I was forgetting. So Füllkrug's going to start. I mean, there's 3 starters who are better than the players they're going to replace. Now that's how you make transfers. You get rid of players who are giving you good service, and you bring in a player who's better than the one you had before. And they've done that with 3 players who are going to be starters. That's how you do it, Chelsea. So I would say West Ham in the Premier League won the transfer window. I guess some would say Man United, but the difference between the West Ham signings and the Man United signings are that the Man U signings are going to have to play out the skin to make a difference, because they have to get in top 4. I don't believe that's what West Ham have to do. So I expect a bigger jump from West Ham than I do from Manchester United.
Continuing that theme of Manchester United, you as a player, you had a smaller squad at Liverpool, but as a manager, you had what was available for the funds that you have at the Revs when you were in MLS. With regards to Manchester United, he's signed a lot of former Ajax players he knows. I mean, Xerxes come in, Mazraoui's come in, De Ligt has come in. He's already got Martinez there, Erik ten Hag. When you were looking to add to your squad, did you find it potentially beneficial if they were available, players that you knew because you'd coached them before?
Well, yes, I think that's very much a common sense and smart move. If you know a player, you know what you're going to get, and he's better than what else is available, then that's what you do. Again, that comes down to common sense. The problem Ten Hag has is that previous signings from Ajax, Martinez, maybe you could say, has been pretty good, but certainly for the amount of money, you're expecting a bit more. But Anthony, crazy price, what was it, 70 million, something daft like that, has been absolutely awful. And so when you've already let the manager sign players from previous clubs that he knows and previous players that he knows, you're going to have to be wary. There's no question, if you're a Man United fan, you're wary that it's turning into Ajax. And let's be honest, in terms of where the Dutch league is, it's way off the Premier League. But you're asking the players to pretty much, okay, a couple of them have been different places. De Ligt have been at Juventus and Bayern, Mazraoui at Bayern as well. They've been in different places. They're not coming straight from Ajax or from Holland, but still, the difference is huge. And again, the reason they're getting these players is because they haven't been successful where they are. So there's a lot of question marks over the signings that Manchester United have made. Listen, if they all turn out, if they all perform to the capabilities, because there's no question every one of them has talent. It just so happens that so far none of them have been able to produce that talent they have, and the ones coming in haven't done that at their previous clubs either. So a lot of questions, a lot of potential, but a lot more questions.
I want to end the chat about the summer transfer window with your old boys, Liverpool. Now, how about this? Well, but I'm kind of approaching this from a different angle, because 3 squad players at best, and Sepp Vandenberg, who's joined Brentford for 20 million, was not even really considered on a matchday squad. Might have been this season with Joel Matip now gone. They've got 20 million from Brentford for Vandenberg. They've got 27.5 million in for Fabio Carvalho, and they got 10 million for Bobby Clark, who's gone to Red Bull Salzburg. That's nearly 60 million pounds that they have brought in with 3 players that probably wouldn't play more than, I don't know, a handful of games for Liverpool. So, is that money to boost the coffers, or is that money that's now available to go and splash out on potentially one big signing, that defensive midfielder? They've been for Oyarzabal, didn't get him. What have you made of their transfer business? Not necessarily who's come in, because that hasn't happened yet.
Well, I think the first thing you got to say is, considering what Liverpool have done in the last 6 months in terms of strengthening the scouting staff, the directors of football, all of that side of it, you don't do that unless you're looking to make change in terms of players. But the other way to look at it is the players they want and the players that they think they need, they're having trouble getting them. And that to me is what the problem is right now. They're having trouble getting them. Now, the old saying, do you want to let the money in your pocket burn a hole in it? Do you want to waste it? I don't think so. I think you want to, if you're going to make signings, you as I said, you get players that are better than the ones you have. And so the likes of Zubimendi, who would have been perfect for Liverpool, in the end decided not to take the offer. There's nothing that Liverpool can do about that, but I think it shows that they're going for quality. They're not just going for numbers. They're not just trying to fill a squad out. They want talent, and they want ability in order for them to take a step forward. Arne Slot's coming into a side that finished third in the Premier League. A step forward, realistically, would be second. I don't think with the squad they have right now, they can win the Premier League. I absolutely think they can be in the top 4. But as I said, between now and the end of this window and maybe the next one, there's no question they're going to be signing players. But the good thing for Liverpool is they have a squad that's capable of beating the majority of the teams in the Premier League, home or away. And that's why I'm confident they'll be in the top 4. But yeah, to compete for the Premier League title, between now and the end of the window, they're going to have to get some players in. But if they don't get any quality, then there's no point in just bringing anybody in. Keep your powder dry. Keep your money available for when the real talent that's going to make you go that extra step, not to second, but to the top of the tree. So I'm disappointed they haven't spent any money. I'm disappointed they haven't brought any real signings. I'm disappointed there's not a big name. But don't go and spend money on just getting a body. Because right now, Liverpool have got enough bodies. They just need a little bit more talent in a couple of areas in order for them to challenge for the Premier League title.
And they never were in for Oyarzabal. It was Zubimendi.